Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 5 is already behind us. Only 2 fucking episodes left in this entire damn season, and only 1 more season to go after this. So let's jump right into Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 6 preview. To my knowledge, does not have an official title yet, so we'll call it Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 6 TBA. Alright, so our first opening shot here, we have Jon and company up north of the wall. Of course, we just saw them leave on their trek north of the wall to find a white to prove to Cersei that the army of the dead is real. And Beric starts his typical voiceover about how the dead are the enemy, and even though you can't beat the enemy, you still have to fight it. And in our next shot here, we see the group heading across this frozen wasteland, it seems to be, and I really gotta say, I'm digging the damn music here. It's almost like a low growl, almost like playing a didgeridoo. Anyway, we see the Hound, Thoros and company coming across, and look at the actual mountain here right in front of the Hound. This is the mountain shaped like an arrowhead that he saw in the vision in episode 1. So the Hound is really questioning now what the hell is going on with these visions and this whole damn religion thing. So he's apparently better at this than Melisandre is after doing it for 200 years. And this, of course, is where the Brotherhood were headed the whole damn time. We see Dany and Tyrion here on Dragonstone, and I'm thinking here by this look on Tyrion's face, and Dany's for that matter, that she's sitting around worried about what the hell's going on. Of course, we just saw in episode 5 Jorah come back to Dragonstone. We've also seen she's essentially falling in love with Jon, so she's sitting around worried. But the look here I get, as I mentioned on the live stream earlier, is that she seems to be worried about what the hell's going on. She's worried about Jon, she's worried about Jorah, and she knows those people believe what they're telling her and went to risk their lives to show her, and Cersei for that matter. So this to me sets up the idea that Dany may decide to leave and check it out for her damn self. So maybe she's come to realize, like Stannis did, that in order to rule the kingdom, you need to save the damn thing first. Beric continues his speech, the enemy always wins, but we still need to fight him, as Jon looks on and apparently they see the approaching whites. In the next shot here, we see them raising their weapons, so apparently they have spotted the whites and white walkers, or they're heading that way. And this is likely going to be the circle we saw in the trailer where they go back to back against each other as the whites surround them. So this is not going to be an easy fucking task. We see a quick shot of Winterfell and then Sansa closing the door with a voiceover from Arya saying, "You're scared, aren't you?" So Littlefinger made a master move this last episode where he placed the old letter that Sansa wrote in her hand, although Cersei was telling her exactly what to write back when Robb was king in the north. And of course Arya was out of town the entire time, so she has no idea what this context is. So Arya is now going to confront Sansa, so this was a master play by Littlefinger. I thought essentially he was waiting around to die, but he did make another play here. Very smart. He knew Arya the entire time in episode 5 was following him, and he planted that very letter to make her turn on Sansa. We see a quick shot of the circle of 12 again with the Hound and Jorah here specifically, as Arya says, "What are you scared of?" And then we see a white attack somebody. You can see one blue eye here. And this is the shot here that bothers me a bit. We see the Hound crushing this white, attacking him, but the problem is he's got Gendry's Warhammer. Now we know Gendry started off with the Warhammer. We saw him grab it from King's Landing last episode. He obviously takes it with him on this trek with Jon and company, but at this point the Hound has it. Now we know the Hound usually fights with a sword. What the hell is he doing with Gendry's Warhammer? Does that mean Gendry has already died at this point? They could be giving away a big secret here in this little teaser, because at this point it seems to be that Gendry has dropped his Warhammer for whatever reason, and the Hound has now picked it up and using it against the remaining whites here. So this shot itself where the Hound has Gendry's Warhammer makes me worry that we got Gendry back for one single damn episode, and he's already died at this point in episode 6. And our next couple shots do focus on the war beyond the wall here, where they try to capture a white. And we are infused again with winter is here. But for real this time, guys, for real. It's actually here this time. The entire off season where we started getting teaser trailers and all that good stuff was all about winter is here. That was the entire theme. The Night King, the Night King Eye, etc. But now we've only got throughout the entire season 2 shots of the Night King and the Army of the Dead, since Bran did warg the Ravens last episode and spy on him. But it looks like this time they really mean it, and winter is actually here, because we're finally going to see some White Walker action in season 7, and I'm going to guess episode 7 as well, the finale. A quick shot of Jon here fighting a White Walker, and just like before at Hardhome, the Valyrian steel blade, since he is carrying Longclaw. And I had a few people ask me about this in the trailer, but if you remember at Hardhome, the ice sword was blocked by Valyrian steel. It didn't actually shatter the ice itself. That's actually what usually happens in reverse for regular steel. After a couple glancing blows, it gets colder and colder and finally actually shatters regular steel. So Valyrian steel obviously won't do that. They were surprised the last time that Jon fought a White Walker, both of them were, when Valyrian steel actually blocked his blade because it usually shatters regular steel. And here we have a quick shot of Gendry, and at this point he does have his Warhammer. So this goes back to what I was saying a minute ago about the Hound. At this point he has his Warhammer, he's fighting with it, a white here obviously, so at some point he's going to lose this or drop it. And perhaps that's all it is. Maybe he just drops the damn Warhammer and the Hound picks it up at some point. But this also makes me worry that Gendry's going to die on this mission when we just got his ass back after 4 years of rowing to King's Landing. We have a quick shot here of what looks to be the gate at Eastwatch once again. And I'm going to guess here this is going to be them returning to Eastwatch after their mission, because we do know they've already left. So there's no reason for any other people to be going out of the gate at Eastwatch unless they've seen them approaching and they have successfully captured a white. So I'm going to guess this is them coming back after that mission, but I think they're going to be a few men short. We see a shot here of Arya circling Sansa as if she's going to attack her for some reason. Now, I don't think she physically will. I do think this will be when she confronts her about the letter she found at Littlefinger's place. Bran is the key here. He's going to have to intervene and say, nope, he's full of shit. Sansa's right. She did write the letter, but Cersei told her exactly what to write while you were going to Braavos. We see the shot we saw in the teaser trailer before the season started where Beric lights his flaming sword. Previously in the show, at least, he uses his blood to light the flame. Now in the books he uses wildfire, but this time it looks like it just ignites, so at some point they need to show him cutting his hand or cutting something to throw a little bit of blood on that blade in order to make it light. Otherwise he's got a fucking lightsaber. The next shot here is of course Whites chasing the group to this rock we saw in the teaser trailer, and they're going to get on top of this rock to try to slow them down and fight them one-on-one versus this whole entire group. So this is where they'll have their final showdown, so to speak, for this particular mission here, and I got a feeling this is where the Night King will come up himself from a shot here we'll see in just a second. Jon, Tormund, and company running and out of breath. Obviously this is probably right after that scene we just saw where the Whites are chasing him to this big ass rock. It's hard to see who's exactly in the background. There may be a few red shirts left. It seems like that first person could be Gendry, but it doesn't look like it, and it definitely doesn't look like anybody else we know, so this could be a couple red shirts that are expendable. We did see a few people follow them out of the tunnel at Eastwatch by the Sea, but I think we're going to lose some major characters as well. And finally, we see the 4 horsemen themselves. We see a couple more White Walkers in the background. We see the Night King himself walk up, and we see him and the White Walker on the dead horse, looking a little bit upward, so I'm thinking this is where they're on that damn stone, and this is where the Night King and Jon Snow will have another stare down and perhaps a one-on-one battle themselves. But we do know that some of the group will make it out, and at least Jon will, on a horse, because we have seen that shot in the teaser already where Jon gets away on a horse. So this is not going to go down well for at least a few of our main characters, and I think, like I said earlier in the shot with Dany, that she may end up helping out herself by flying up on Drogon and perhaps the other dragons as well, to help save the damn crew and also see for herself what the hell Jon's talking about. Alright guys, that's all I have. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Will this episode be huge, just like episode 9 is typically in a 10 episode season? Because again, this is the second to last episode and season 7 is fucking over, and we have to wait another year and something more than likely for the final season, Game of Thrones Season 8. As usual, thank you for all the support, especially to you guys on Patreon, and a huge shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers, Griffin, Guy10, Lala Gig, Kissa Powell, Marc Joseph, aka The Snow in Winterfell, Marylin Bentley, JoAnna, Sean Hayes, Anonymous, Doc Holiday, Goska, HoonJive, Kieran D20, Nicki Snow, Lo Horton, Erin Habig, Ashley May, Brian Solarz, Dean Bwell, Karla Stark, John Carey, Anastasia, Jason Landers, Rhiaanon, DTizSmith, and MJW. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. And thank you to everyone for stopping by the live stream tonight. We broke yet another record with over 5,000 viewers. And of course, we made the live trending tab as well, again on YouTube. Really appreciate all you guys hanging out. It's a lot of fun. So we'll see you guys next Sunday at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, right after episode 6 airs. And as usual, look forward for my regular review video coming out tomorrow as well. So thanks again. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.